So that guy I met on eHarmony? Yeah. We're out together last night and I step off a curb and snap, heel breaks right off my shoe.
Oh no.
So I say, hell with it, take them off so I'm barefoot, and you'll never guess.
What?
He leans over, takes off his shoes and socks, and now we're both...
You're joking.
Amazing, right?
At eHarmony, you'll find someone you can be yourself with. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up for eHarmony today.
Finding someone that understands you is hard because you're human, and there's a lot of different humans out there. eHarmony helps you find someone you can be yourself with. You think no one would understand mourning a plant like it's a loved one, or singing made-up songs to your dog, but that's the type of person eHarmony helps you find. Someone who makes you feel seen, heard, and understood. Get started today on eHarmony. Get who gets you.
What is your definition of greatness? What will be the moment you know that you made it? You achieved the greatness you were working for. It's important to know because it's the thing that will help you accomplish more than you realized you were capable of. You're listening to the Health Courage Collective podcast, episode 182, Your Moment to Achieve Greatness. Welcome to the Health Courage Collective podcast, the show for women who are too busy to slog through hours of generalized, inapplicable, and often contradictory health information, but too smart to ignore that a few minutes of focused attention now can prevent years of suffering in the future. I'm your host, Christina Hackett, a pharmacist who doesn't want you to live on prescriptions, a certified coach specifically trained to maximize your potential, and a compulsive learner obsessed with preventative, cutting-edge, holistic, and integrative medicine. I'm on a mission to increase your physical and mental resilience so you can fearlessly look forward to your next 40-plus limitless years. Your time is now. Let's go. Hello, my friend, and welcome to another episode. I'm so happy that you're here today. How is your plan for allowing your body to heal itself by feeding it the ingredients it needs to be able to do so? It's not easy to figure out, and what works for you won't be the same thing that worked for someone else, but it makes such a huge difference. I trust that you're probably not listening to this on Christmas Day, but that's the day this episode is published. So if you are, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a fabulous day, no matter what day you're listening. Today, we're going to talk about the moment you achieve greatness. So take a minute to think about what kind of greatness you want to achieve in your life. What needs to happen for you to reflect back on your life from your deathbed and feel like you achieved everything you hoped you would? You became the youest you possible. What does greatness for you mean to you? Not someone else's definition of greatness, but greatness for you. What great thing do you wish to accomplish or achieve or obtain before you die? Since I'm all about your health span, think about what your physiologic state will need to be to allow you to attain that greatness. I'm going to set a timer for 60 seconds and let you really think deeply about your own personal idiosyncratic flavor of greatness. Okay, what did you come up with? Is there a certain award or recognition or event or object that would signal to you that greatness had been secured? What about your health span and physical abilities? What is greatness to you? How will you feel when you have accomplished true greatness? What emotions will be vibrating in your body? What will your body posture and facial expression be? Will you strike a certain pose, like both arms straight up in the air, or say a certain phrase like, booyah? Do people even say that anymore? I don't think so. I think it's gone the way of as if and da bomb or sticky wicket or tickety boo. I think that one should make a comeback. That can be your challenge of the day. Answer a question with tickety boo. How's the revised budget coming along? Tickety boo. Anyway, back to your moment of greatness. Remember how it's going to feel someday when you achieve greatness. What will it feel like, and what will your natural response be? Then the next question is, what is the moment that you achieved that greatness? When exactly was the greatness attained? Think of some people who have achieved greatness in your opinion. Maybe there are people who have accomplished the thing that came to mind for you as the definition of greatness. Great people who come to mind for me are Katrin Davidsdottir, Oprah, Malala, Eleanor Roosevelt, Katie Ledecky, Harriet Tubman, Mother Teresa, Rosa Parks, Mary Barra, and Sarah Blakely. I'm sure you have some great ones that I haven't thought of. When did that person you admire achieve her greatness? When she won the CrossFit Games, a daytime Emmy, was nominated for a Nobel Prize, won 14 Olympic medals, was canonized as a Catholic saint, or was appointed the first female CEO of a major automaker? I don't think so. And I think that if I can convince you not to think so either, it will help put more years lived in good health into your future, age at an elite level, and achieve greatness for yourself. In his book, The 12-Week Year, Brian Moran explains that an Olympic athlete doesn't become great when she wins a medal or breaks a world record. That's evidence of her greatness, but it's not when she became great. She became great years ago, in the minute or second that she decided to swim one more lap or cycle one more mile. This is a long quote from the book The 12-Week Year, but I think it's a good one. He says, I would argue that Michael Phelps didn't achieve greatness when he won his 18th gold medal or when he won his first. He became great when he decided to do the things that would allow him to win. He achieved greatness the moment he chose to put the effort into his training, spending the hours in the gym and pool, and eating the foods his body needed instead of those he wanted, strengthening his mental resolve. The gold medal wins were simply the evidence of his greatness. Michael Phelps had actually achieved greatness many years earlier. Results are not the attainment of greatness, but simply confirmation of it. You become great long before the results show it. It happens in an instant the moment you choose to do the things you need to do to be great. What I have found is that the difference between greatness and mediocrity on a daily and weekly basis is slim, yet the difference in results down the road is tremendous. The difference between greatness and mediocrity for a salesperson is 2 or 3 extra appointments a week, 5 or 10 more calls a day, 3 hours out of a 40-hour work week. On a daily and weekly basis, these differences seem minor, but in the long run, they are significant. End quote. I love that. There are 2 things that I think are kind of life-changing in there. 1, we think greatness is the achieving of the amazing accomplishment, but it's not. And 2, the difference between astounding greatness and mediocrity is actually pretty tiny. So first, it's fun to imagine achieving something great that's meaningful to us, becoming a published author, winning a philanthropic award, making partner, getting tenure, being named chairwoman, purchasing a vacation home, taking your extended family on a trip of a lifetime. Whatever the thing is for you. But I think we can sometimes fall into the trap of thinking that life sucks now, but once we kill ourselves enough to figure it all out and achieve that thing we want, we'll be magically transported to a world of nothing but butterflies and rainbows. Believing that is one of the greatest sources of unhappiness. As Phil Stutz so brilliantly teaches, we're never going to be exonerated from pain, uncertainty, and hard work. There's not a magical world where we will ever be free from struggle and disappointment. Which sounds like kind of a bummer, but it's actually the best news ever. The fact that there's no magical someday means that we don't have to wait to be happy or fully start to live until we get somewhere else. And other people who have or have done the thing we want haven't been exonerated from life's difficulties either. They've achieved something amazing and awesome, but they're not better and their life isn't more magical because of that thing. Everything that matters is happening right now. Our challenges aren't going away, and we aren't ever going to reach our highest potential. Yay, how great, because our truest, deepest sense of flourishing and soul-deep satisfaction comes from trying to reach our highest potential, not from actually getting there. There's a quote I love from George Leonard that says, "For a master, the rewards gained along the way are fine, but they are not the main reason for the journey. Ultimately, the master and the master's path are one, and if the traveler is fortunate, that is, if the path is complex and profound enough, the destination gets 2 miles farther away for every mile he or she travels." End quote. What we think is the moment of greatness is fine, but it's just a byproduct of actual greatness, which is who we become. And the real moment of greatness is the moment we choose to log what we ate so we can make sure we're getting enough protein. The moment we prioritize eating something that will feed our good bacteria over something we enjoy the taste of more. The moment we take a 10-minute walk after dinner, even though it's cold and windy outside. All the moments we stand up from our desk chair throughout the day. The moment we row 250 more meters, do one more kettlebell swing, or do one more yoga pose before bed. Greatness is following your schedule, executing your work tasks with precision, complimenting a coworker, thinking about what you could enjoy about a healthy activity rather than what feels like punishment about it. It's doing a little thing you know will hook your future self up with more capacity to live more as she gets older, even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. That's the moment of greatness. How many potential moments of greatness do you experience every day? How many do you take advantage of? I've only seen Hamilton on Disney Plus once a few years ago, but this reminds me of not throwing away your shot. Be young, scrappy, and hungry like ALEXANDER and start seeing the tiny opportunities in your day as the very opportunity you've been waiting for to fulfill your dream. If you're waiting for your big break to be able to create an amazing future, it has already shown up, and it will show up again today and tomorrow. Philosopher Rudolf Steiner said, "The most important things enter the world through the smallest things. The commonplace is crucial because most of our time is spent doing commonplace things." End quote. The forces that drive the trajectory of your life and health are small. I like how David Allen said that the sublime comes through the mundane. How we deal with and react to seemingly inconsequential things is how we create the things that the world recognizes as great. The way we become what we're capable of becoming is by not throwing away our shot at greatness in the tiny moments today. And so we get to the second point I love in that quote from Brian Moran. The difference between astounding greatness and mediocrity is pretty tiny in the moment. The difference between being a force for good, engaged, powerful, and independent in your 90s and being too frail and confused to do or know what you can do to make a difference is tiny. The difference between being great friends with your adult kids and having almost no contact with them is tiny. The difference between trying to manage all the invitations to go on exciting expeditions with your grandkids or trying to manage all your chronic disease states and their symptoms is tiny. Don't throw away your shot. Greatness doesn't happen when you're presented with an award, on a backpacking trip, or caring for others in your 80s instead of having them care for you. Greatness happens right now. Little actions or the lack of little actions today and tomorrow and the day after that have enormous consequences. What's cool is that we all have the potential and opportunities for greatness today. And no matter how you've acted in the past, you can become great today. What makes a champion is doing the little extra thing even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. Think of the last time you backed down and didn't do the thing you knew was best for you. How did that moment feel? Probably not great. You were probably tired or discouraged or overwhelmed or frustrated. Feel that way now. That's your moment to shine. That's where greatness is hidden. That's your shot. Don't throw it away. For me, it's so helpful to imagine myself doing the thing I know will make my future better, but that I know I have a tendency to blow off. I imagine feeling the way I would feel that would make me want to skip out. And then I imagine that feeling making me want to do the thing more. That's something I learned from Phil Stutz. The worse you feel, the more committed you are. The worse you feel, the more committed you are. That's greatness. And don't forget the most important step of BJ Fogg's behavior change model. Do you remember what it is? Celebration. When you feel bad and you act in accordance with your true self anyway, recognize that that is greatness and celebrate yourself. Celebrate harder than you imagine you would if you were to achieve the outward recognition that you used to think was greatness. Don't skip that step. It's what will help you want to do the great thing again tomorrow and the next day. Do you remember what you thought of when I asked you what emotions you'd feel and what your body posture and facial expression would be and what you'd say when you achieved greatness? That's what you need to do next time you respond with kindness in a frustrating situation. Say no to industrial seed oils or get in bed 9 minutes earlier than you normally do. Greatness is achieved the moment you choose to do the things that will allow you to become the person you want to be. Hopefully you remember my favorite celebration phrase, that's like me. Make the emotions and posture and celebration phrase of choice part of your next achievement of greatness. The kind of greatness that happens years before the evidence of your greatness is acknowledged by the outside world. Thank you so much for being here today. I already know that you're great. Go prove that to yourself today. And don't forget to celebrate afterward. If you need some help making the kind of great moment-to-moment choices that will create the future you want, where you can live and give more as you get older rather than less, I'm looking for some beta testers to help me work out the kinks in a program I'm developing to help you make the things that are best for your health span and the things that you most enjoy doing the same. I love to help you as you help me create a program for smart, forward-thinking women like you who are having a bit of trouble falling in love with doing the things that will put more years lived in good health in their futures. Because I know that what the world needs is more of you at your best. Email me at healthcouragecollective@gmail.com or find the link on my website to become a beta tester. You are awesome. Next week is New Year's Day, and we're going to talk about 14 minutes and 24 seconds that can change your life. Until then, become truly great today and don't be normal. Thank you so much for tuning into the Health Courage Collective podcast. I am truly honored that you have paid me the enormous compliment of your time and attention. I would be so grateful if you would share this podcast with someone you know and subscribe so you never miss an episode. This podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only. Statements and views on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Christina Hackett and producers, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse events by use of information contained herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed